What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Educated Barfly. Today we're going to be making an original cocktail called a Tradewinds Julep. Now that we're getting into the summer season, and it's spring is here, and it's getting hot outside, I wanted to do a little bit more refreshing cocktails. A lot of you guys are asking me for refreshing cocktails, and I wanted to start creating some of these. And I was thinking about ways of adding tropical flavors into some cocktails. Lately, I've been really digging on some tiki and really exploring tiki. As a lot of you guys know, for most of my career, I've been doing classic cocktails, and then I took a dive into culinary style cocktails, but I haven't really done tiki too much until lately, and I've just been really geeking out on it. So because I started thinking about tiki, I know this is going to be a little bit of a story, but there is a timestamp below if you guys want to skip the story. Anyway, because I started thinking about tiki, I've also been thinking a lot about sustainability in the bar and how much waste the bar produces. And I was introduced to this concept called Trash Tiki, which was started by two London bartenders, Iain Griffiths and Kelsey Rammage. And what they do is they take a lot of the waste that their bar creates. I believe they were both working at Dandelion, which is one of the, I think it was like #1 in the top 50 bars in the world this last year. It is now closed, but it is a very forward-thinking bar, so I'm not surprised that a concept like this would be coming out of that bar. Anyway, they started taking the waste that their bar created and then basically like upscaling that waste into usable tiki ingredients. And then they created this thing called Trash Tiki, which is a traveling pop-up bar that basically takes all of these normally these ingredients that would be trash and turns it into like really great syrups and other types of things. So my kids the other day, as luck would have it, were eating mango, and I had a couple that were going to go bad. And then so I took all of the skins, right, and the pits from their mangoes and just whatever would have been normally trashed, and I cut up the ones that were getting overly ripe and would have necessarily been tossed away. And I made an oleosaccharum out of that. So if you guys don't know what an oleosaccharum is, we do have an episode on it. You just click the link above, and you can go to that episode to get kind of the full story on what it is. But basically, in a nutshell, it is just coating things with sugar and allowing the sugar to pull the juices out and make a syrup. So I don't know if you can really see it in this bowl, but basically I coated this with half a cup of sugar, I stirred it up, and I put it in the refrigerator for 24 hours, and it basically leached out a lot of the juices. The mango peels are actually very moist and they contain a lot of juices, so it's very easy for the sugar to pull that juice out. And you get a little bit of syrup. You don't get a ton of syrup from this oleosaccharum, but I got about this much. This was about the peels and pits of two mangoes plus 1.5 mangoes pretty much that were gonna go bad. I'm gonna set this aside. If you make this, put it in a nut milk bag and really squeeze it to make sure that you get the greatest amount of syrup out. I'm not going to do that in this video because I want to get into making the cocktail, and this has already been a very long story, so I'm just going to set this aside and we're going to get into the cocktail. But this is like a really good way of like being sustainable. I will start doing more Trash Tiki recipes for syrups and stuff so you guys can get into it. I know that there are a lot of people in the bar industry that watch this show, so I just want everyone thinking about like sustainability and not just like, you know, using half of something, you know, but really trying to like extend the life cycle of our ingredients. Okay, we'll set this aside. So this is pretty easy. The first thing we're gonna do is you're gonna build it in the chalice. And this drink isn't necessarily actually a julep, but it's not really necessarily a smash. We're putting it in a julep chalice, and that's why I'm calling it a julep. But you know, I like to play with the things. I'm calling it a julep. Yeah, I don't know. I was going to say more on that, but I just kind of lost my train of thought. So first thing we're going to do is 3/4 of an ounce of mango oleosaccharum. And then we're going to do 3/4 an ounce of lemon juice. And then we're going to do 1.5 ounces of Old Tom gin. I'm using Ransom Old Tom gin, but you can use any other Old Tom gin you would like. It's going to work with all of them. This one's a little barrel-aged and a lightly sweetened. Heyman's works pretty good in this as well. And then I should have taken this off because now I'm going to struggle with this, but I should have opened this ahead of time, but I didn't. And then we're going to use this Prosecco as well, but I want to just get it all. Cool. Put that aside. Here we go. So then what we're going to do is we're going to add a little ice. You're using pebbled ice here. We're going to grab a... Dirk Diggler makes his return. Grab a spoon. I forgot something in this episode, but it wasn't like a whole big dramatic thing to get it. Just going to give it like a light stir to combine the ingredients. We're going to add in just a tiny bit of the Prosecco to sort of just like get the fizz going. Then we're going to top up with pebble ice. Top it with Prosecco. I like to have a nice little snow cap of ice on my drinks, so there we have it. And then we're just going to garnish with like a little, since this is like, you know, Trash Tiki, we're just going to garnish with like a little, I don't know. I wanted to make a twist, but this is a little bit thick of a peel. And then I'm going to grab a straw, and we're going to taste this. Ooh. Oh, that is phenomenal. Yes! Okay, flavor profile wise, you got the mango straight off the bat. You've got an equal amount of lemon juice, which is giving you that nice citrus bite, and it's like tampering down those sweet ingredients. You can definitely taste the barrel agedness of the Old Tom. All of the, like the mango is so vibrant. It plays so well with the Prosecco, and the Prosecco has this nice drying effect. It just like kind of dries out the flavor profile. So there you have it, my friends. My first ever Trash Tiki creation, the Tradewinds Julep. I will see you guys on the next tutorial, but until then, hit subscribe if you haven't hit subscribe. Our analytics say that there's a lot of people that watch the show regularly but don't subscribe. So hit subscribe. It helps us out. And if you want to check out our Patreon, go to patreon.com/theeducatedbarfly. Until next time, I will see you on the next tutorial. Until then, drink happy, my friends.